So right now, I'm right outside Tamiami Park near FIU. Last week I was just here at Tamiami Park doing a live stream. Literally right here at Tamiami Park doing a live stream. Tamiami Park, just a few minute walk away from that intersection where the bridge collapsed. So anyways, apparently there's a youth fair going on right now, and apparently this is where you park for the youth fair. Of course, I'm not going to the youth fair, but you know what, I'm gonna take a look. Well, you know, that's probably gonna be blocked off. Probably the smartest way to get there would be to calm down, you dumbass. Yeah, we're gonna go another route here. Probably be the best way to go. This is probably where all the media is as well. So let's get in here. Yeah, I'm sure there's a shopping center right there at the intersection. At this intersection, I'm pretty sure that's where all the media, local news stations are probably parked there. So I think I'm gonna try that out, because a lot of the streets are just blocked. A lot of the intersections are just completely blocked off. You can't get anywhere near. But I want to see it for myself. And since I'm going to go see it, might as well bring you guys along for the ride, because why the fuck not? And I think I have every right to go see the bridge in person. You know, I'm a tax-paying citizen of this city, and a gigantic fucking bridge collapsed and killed and crushed a bunch of people because of the negligence of, you know, some parties involved here. So I think I have every right to want to go see it for myself. Want to go see the reality of what happened for myself. So yeah, this is a fair. By the way, that fair right there, the Miami-Dade County Youth Fair, it's been here for like decades. Everybody loves it. Apparently a bunch of people are flooding in already. And it's been here for so many decades, but FIU actually wanted to kick the fair out, because FIU is expanding so much that they wanted to take the location where the fair is. They wanted to invade that space too, kick the beloved youth fair out of the town, because FIU wanted to expand into that property next door. So they tried to expand with the bridge, and apparently from what's coming out, FIU might be in some big trouble, because there's some allegations of pretty blatant negligence involving the bridge. I mean, let alone the fact that before the bridge is even completely completed, while they're performing a stress test on the bridge, after they noticed a giant crack on the fucking bridge, like the day the bridge collapsed, the people involved with the project held like an emergency meeting a few hours before it collapsed. They held like an emergency meeting so that they could discuss whether or not the crack was a problem. Again, there's the youth fair. You can see the Ferris wheel and all that, the little rides and stuff. Yes, this is the fair. Every year, FIU wanted to kick the fair out because they don't have enough as it is. They need to keep expanding and making more money off that illusory student loan debt that doesn't even exist. You know, a whole campus based on money that doesn't exist. A whole campus, a $15 million bridge project based on money that doesn't exist. Student loan debt money. Sounds like a smart idea. At least the youth fair is based on real money, you know. It might be, you know, a pointless little circus distraction of escapism, but at least it's providing some real, like, tangible value to people. So yeah, so they convened hours before the bridge collapsed. Just a few hours before, they had an emergency meeting, the people involved in the project, basically saying, hey, there's a crack on the bridge. That might be a problem. They decided apparently it wasn't enough of an issue to shut down 8th Street, to shut down the lanes of highway, so that people might, I don't know, just seems like a bad idea to have a bunch of people driving underneath a bridge that's not completed is missing this giant cable tower structure that apparently is supposed to hold it up, and then to perform stress tests on the fucking bridge while people are driving underneath an 8-lane fucking street. Makes sense, man. Makes sense. No, it appears there might have been massive negligence involved in all of this, and I hope it wasn't because of the greed of the people who run the college. I hope it wasn't because just complete greed. They have to expand further. They have to expand further off that student loan debt, that imaginary money that doesn't exist. They got to keep expanding, and apparently they expanded so much that they didn't do due diligence when building that fucking bridge. So anyways, again, here is the youth fair right next door to FIU. FIU wanted to kick the youth fair out, the beloved youth fair. They wanted to kick it out because they needed to expand. Right up ahead, basically, is where the collapse happened. Right up ahead and to our left. So a bit off in the distance right now, but we'll be there in a moment. So we already got some police around here, and state troopers and stuff. And of course, here's one of the main entrances to FIU. And I don't even know if the intersection up ahead is open, so we're going to find out in a moment. But yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, coming up right here with this crazy thing. Guys, I mean, I've literally driven through here. I've done videos. There's a video from like 2 years ago where I was driving. It's the video called Why I No Longer Hold the Door Open for Pretty Women. That classic, incredible, awesome video. While I was filming that video in my car, I actually drove right on the same street, right underneath where the bridge would end up being erected just a few years later. So I've been on this street a million times. So yeah, it does hit close to home a little bit. It does kind of hit close to home. I found myself very infatuated and interested. Not infatuated, but very interested in all the reports coming out about this story, this bridge collapsing, because I guess it does kind of hit close to home. So again, this is one of the main entrances to FIU, and pretty much up ahead and a couple blocks to the left is where the bridge collapsed. So again, I don't even know what the situation is here right now. I don't even know if the intersection up here is open, but I guess we're going to find out in a moment. It's sad what happened. It's pretty tragic, I mean, people lost their lives, man. This is pretty terrible way to go. Pretty sad and terrible way to go. And there's allegations that there was there's some allegations that it's hard to determine if they're true. These are just some reports that are circulating. They could be false news, fake news, but there's some reports that there was a feminist who had a big role in the project. There are some reports that there was a feminist who had a big role in the project. And apparently now this feminist who apparently had a big role in the project, now apparently all her information is being wiped off the internet. It's weird. It's almost like she's trying to distance herself from her role in the project. We'll get into more details on that in a moment, but as you can see, we got a lot of traffic because there's a lot of construction just going on here, and I'm sure 50% of the people on the street right now are probably all here just so they can get a glimpse of this tragedy. And people say, oh, you shouldn't go nosing in on a tragedy. Well, maybe I have a right and an interest. Maybe I have a right and an interest to want to see what happened for myself. I am a tax-paying member of this city. My tax dollars probably somehow went to that damn bridge. So I think I have a right. I don't think it's too crazy for me to want to see it for myself so that I could actually see it for what it really is. So there's some, I don't even know if this is unfounded rumors, allegations, but there was a woman who apparently worked for one of the main construction companies involved. MCM, that's the construction company that apparently built the bridge off-site, apparently, and this was an official FIU report that was put out on the official FIU website, Saturday morning, I think it was about 5 days before the bridge collapsed, on Saturday morning, they already had the bridge in place. It was up for 5 days. So they had the bridge in place for like 5 days. But on Saturday morning, they put it up, and there was kind of a big celebration, and the official FIU website put out a press release. And in the press release, they had an interview with this female, quote, project executive, who appeared to have worked. Now the construction company is now denying that this woman worked on the project in a weird turn of events, and I'll get to that in a moment. But this press release that was put up on Saturday morning, 5 days before the bridge collapsed, they interviewed this woman who, and it's weird. She kind of, it sounds like she's taking credit for the bridge, like she played a role, and she gives these weird quotes that a lot of people think prove she's a feminist. She gives weird quotes, and I'm paraphrasing here, but she basically says something like, "I'm so proud of this bridge. I brought my daughter here with me so she can be proud of my work." I'm paraphrasing here. And I really think that, this bridge is proof that women can bring a very unique thing. Women can bring a very unique thing to construction. Women can bring an interesting artistic touch to construction, which kind of implies that men can't. Because if women can exclusively bring an artistic touch, that kind of sounds like you're saying that men can't. But, so basically, to our left here, that building on the right, that tall white building, it might be on your left, depends. I don't know if the fucking camera's flipped. That one over there, that one on the right side, that's really right there at the intersection where the bridge collapsed. So the bridge collapses literally right there. Obviously, I don't think we're going to be allowed to make a left turn at this light, so I'll probably have to keep going straight. But again, so she's quoted in this official press release that was put on the FIU website. She's quoted as basically saying, "Yeah, women bring a unique artistic touch," and it really sounded like she was trying to give credit. But what's crazy is that if you try to look up this woman's LinkedIn profile, it's been completely deleted. And according to somebody on Twitter, they saw her LinkedIn profile before it was deleted, and according to her LinkedIn, again, this is rumors, just unconfirmed speculation from people on the internet who were reporting on it, but basically they were saying that her LinkedIn profile showed that she took credit. She took credit. She was somehow involved in the bridge. But her LinkedIn profile no longer exists. And it's weird because a big fat update was added to that article that was posted to the official FIU news website. There's a big fat update at the top that was put there March 16th, which I think was a day or two after the bridge collapsed. A big fat update in red letters. And you know what it said? It put the name of the woman, and it said, "This woman was not involved in the construction of this bridge in any capacity." So it's a weird thing to update. A weird thing is like distancing yourself from the project, which I guess you would want to do. You don't want to be associated with a failed project. But it's weird because then you go down and you read the original article that was there, and the original article basically says, it sounds like she's taking credit for the bridge. It's a weird wording where it almost sounds like she is taking credit, but she's not. It's weird wording. You guys got to see it for yourself. Just look into it. Just type in, female design bridge FIU, and you might be able. So it's a little weird. We don't know what's going on. I'm sure a lot of people, they don't want to be responsible or involved with this project. So I'm sure a lot of people are distancing themselves. I just want to make sure that there wasn't some kind of pointless diversity, quota hires to make sure the company doesn't look sexist. So I hope that there wasn't some kind of forced hiring of incompetent people for political correctness. And I don't think that's what happened. It's probably more complicated than that. But again, on our left here, this is where the bridge collapsed. right here on our left, straight over there. That's where it happened, right there. There it is. You can still see the pillars and the columns and the concrete. Yeah, that was it. So yeah, I want to get a closer look because, you know, as a tax-paying member of this city, you know, I want to make sure, I want to see these things, you know. I want to see the reality of these things because if I'm a member of this community, I want to make sure that things are being done right. And I think I have every right to want to be aware of what's going on. So, you know, I just figured I'd take you guys along for the ride, you know, just bring you guys along. Yeah, I mean, the only way I'm probably going to get anywhere near close to see it is going to be if I probably go through that park that's right next to the campus. So I'll probably go there because, you know. It's gonna take me about 5 minutes to get to the park, so you know, I apologize if it's gonna be kind of uneventful for the next 5 minutes. Trying to get the hell out of this area. I can actually get pretty close. I actually might be able to get pretty close from around here. I'm pretty familiar with this area. I might be able to get pretty close to the bridge from here, actually. Because again, as a tax-paying member of this city, you know, I want to see these things for myself. So it really sets in. You know, if I'm paying for some of these projects and negligence is putting my life at risk, I think I have every fucking right on the planet to see it up close in person. So. Go ahead. Yeah, I might be able to get a close-up shot from around here, actually. And all these people around here must have heard that thing like a fucking earthquake, because this is only like a block and a half away from where it happened. So. Yeah, this is very close actually, right here. Very, very close right now. So this would be a that's crazy, dude. It's pretty crazy, man. And this is the canal that was right next to the bridge. Just looking for a place to park right now. Apparently the internet sucks around here. Sorry guys, I lost a couple of you guys there. Connection's kind of bad in this area, so I kind of lost a couple of you guys. Someone says I'm gonna lose my beard. It surprised me if that's being done on purpose. Damn man, it's like no internet around here. I know. Shit off around here. Yeah, I'm sorry guys. It's just, you know, they probably artificially destroy the quality of the internet so people can't live stream and tweet. That's how they do shit. We're almost there actually. We're almost at the collapse site. We're almost at the collapse site, so we might be able to get some good shots. So that is the site of the bridge collapse, guys. There it is. That is the site of the bridge collapse. You can still see a truck crushed under the bridge. That is scary, man. That is scary as hell. You can still see a fucking truck crushed under the bridge. Let me just make sure I'm getting a good shot here. Looks like they took a large portion of the bridge is already off the street. They gotta clear this up because 8th Street here is a very busy street. So they gotta clear this up, man, because the rush hour traffic relies on this street to flow properly. But let's see if we can get a little closer. That's crazy, bro. Let me see. Yeah, that's it right there. Clear as day. Look at all that fucking rubble, man. You know, there's some videos that came out. Let me make sure the connection is good. Connection's actually doing good. There's some videos came out, some people who are right there at the bridge. I mean, you can see the truck right there, just pinned, crushed underneath. Just hope there wasn't somebody in there chilling, maybe, you know, having his lunch or something. Because I think that's one of the construction workers' trucks that was just parked underneath the bridge on that side. But that's it, man. They've removed the big chunk of the bridge, but you can just see how heavy it is. The way it crushed that truck, just so heavy. So damn heavy. Yeah, I apologize for the somewhat low internet quality around here. A lot of times whenever there's a crisis event, there's people speculate that the local authorities will they'll disrupt the internet connection near a crisis event so people can't live stream and tweet. It's kind of annoying, actually. There's actually somebody with a drone. There's actually a drone right to the left of that green crane. There's a little fucking drone flying around. I wonder if that's an official mainstream media drone or if that's just like some rogue dude flying his drone over the site. Little fucking drone, bro. It's hilarious. So again, I mean, this is about as close as I'll probably ever get to the site. Yeah, so it is a little bit annoying. There were some videos where people who were right there, who almost got hit by the falling bridge, some of these videos show they were just people on the street who got out to try to help, and all of a sudden, you know, the police come in with their yellow tape and they're like shouting, "Get back, get back, get back," and they're just stringing the yellow tape across. And then then they don't want you filming, they don't want you showing anything. And you know why? Why do they do that? Is it because they don't want us citizens to see, you know, terrible gore? Maybe. Or maybe it's because, you know, there's a lot of fingers to be pointed in these kind of situations, and they don't want people asking questions. They don't want people with evidence, you know. They don't want the higher ups having to, you know, they want to come in, they want to put the yellow tape, and they want to do their thing, and they don't want anyone to see shit. So I think it's every person's right after these kinds of things to pull out their camera and film and see what's happening and document. So there it is. That's it, man. And I drive along this street all the fucking time, bro. I mean, all the time. Just all the time. And somebody told me, and I don't know if this is true or not, but somebody told me that FIU was actually expanding across this canal. That they were actually going to have some FIU properties, not just over there with the colleges, but they were going to cross 8th Street, cross the canal, and they were going to have properties on this side as well. And that bridge was part of facilitating. So they're just expanding and expanding, and it's, how much expansion do you got to do? And again, it's, a lot of colleges are really expanding nowadays, but they're expanding on student loan debt. They're expanding on fake money that doesn't exist. So should you even be expanding to begin with? So again, there it is, guys. I mean, they've cleaned up a lot. They're just trying to clean this up because 8th Street is actually a really important 8-lane street in this area. So, plus the fair is actually open right now, so that's another traffic thing they have to take into account. I'm just gonna go into the chat here, see what you guys are saying. Yeah, yep. Some videos came out, I think yesterday or the day before, as they were pulling some of the crushed cars out from underneath. Man, flattened like a pancake. Scary. I mean, a truck, a pickup truck, like just flattened. Some people have speculated why they use heavy-ass concrete for this kind of a bridge. Whether or not that was the smartest material to go with. Heavy, heavy thing, man. I think they said it was like 950 tons. Yeah, that was her name right there, actually. Some said it was an FIU alumni, worked for MCM, and she's quoted as saying that women bring a unique feminine touch, artistic touch to construction, which kind of implies that men can't bring that. So, you know, now her LinkedIn profile has been deleted, and the actual MCM construction company actually responded to some people on Twitter who were asking about this feminist employee of theirs, and the actual official Twitter account for the construction company actually responded to these people who were asking about her and said she has nothing to do with the bridge project. So again, as I was saying earlier, for any of you guys who were listening earlier, there was a woman who was making feministic type statements who, in the original press release that was put on the FIU website, she's talking about how, you know, she's involved. She's talking about how, you know, this is a great project. I brought my daughter here because I'm so proud of the project. And it really sounded like she was taking credit in some capacity for the building and the design of the bridge. But later, an update was added after the bridge collapsed. An update was added to this official story on the FIU website. An update was added saying this woman has nothing to do with the bridge. She had nothing to do with it in any capacity. So it's like a weird thing. They're trying to distance her after the fact, and maybe she really wasn't involved. This is kind of speculation right now, but yeah. We have some police here and tents set up. You know, I think there might have been some people up in those parking garages. There was one local reporter for the Miami Herald who was up in those parking garages just trying to get some footage, something. And apparently some of the family members of the girl who died in this terrible tragedy, they were up in those parking garage buildings. They refused to leave because they were up in those parking garage buildings trying to get a look at their daughter. And obviously it's going to be a gory scene. Obviously it's going to be, but you know, maybe some people need the closure, you know. But I heard, according to some reports, the family of the daughter that was crushed, police kicked her out of that parking garage in the back. They forced the family to leave, didn't let them see her daughter getting pulled out from underneath the bridge. And again, you might say, oh, why should they have to see such terrible gore? You know, a lot of times they'll say that the reason they kicked people out when they were pulling cars away was because, you know, they don't want the public to see gory things. Or maybe, you know, they have to, you know, the National Transportation Safety Board was brought in. Maybe they just want to keep wraps on all this and make sure that they're the ones with the official videos and pictures, you know. That's why it's important for everybody and all the great people, the heroes who pulled out their cameras, and also those who ran in to try to help the victims who were on the street right when the bridge collapsed. It's important for people to be involved, not just be passive, you know. But again, there's still a truck crushed underneath the bridge, as you guys might be able to see. Make sure the connection is good. And so yeah. So, you know, if you know, if mourning families want to see their daughter getting pulled out from underneath the bridge, I just think you should let them. There's a reason that they feel compelled to want to see it. Because it's your family member. You want to see what happened. You want to know what happened. You know, it's like, you know, when you put your loved one in a casket and you go to a funeral, you need the closure. You need the closure. Anyways, guys, that's all I pretty much wanted to do. I just wanted to come by, take a look at it for myself, see it for myself. If my tax dollars are somehow paying for projects like these, and then the negligence of the people involved in the project ends up killing people on a street that I regularly pass by, you know, I think I have every right to want to come see it for myself and really solidify the tragic event that occurred here. Not just be a passive. I actually wanted to see it. I don't want the negligence of people working in my city to end up killing me or other people. That bridge looks so heavy, bro. Those concrete structures look so heavy, man. Again, a lot of people were asking, why would you build such a big ass bridge out of solid 950-ton concrete? Why would you do such a thing? I mean, and again, there were reports that 5 hours before the bridge collapsed, members of the construction company convened at a meeting to discuss a crack that was forming on the bridge. So 5 hours before the bridge collapsed, members of the team convened to ask whether or not a crack that was forming was cause for concern. And I guess they decided it wasn't cause for concern. Not even to at least shut down 8th Street. So there really does seem to be some pretty extreme fuck-ups in this whole case. Pretty extreme negligence that went down here. Anyways. Alright guys, so that is all that I wanted to say. Well, apparently the bridge was designed to withstand a Category 5 hurricane. So, yeah. So, whether or not it has some kind of concrete base to withstand hurricanes, it was apparently designed to withstand Category 5 hurricanes, which makes sense here in Miami. I don't know if any bridge has ever collapsed because of a hurricane. Build it with plants, a plant-based bridge. Yeah, apparently one of the main support columns that was visible in all the pre-rendered design versions of the bridge, these support columns with the wire cables were not in place after the bridge was already put up and while they were stress testing the bridge. So, you know, what the hell were they thinking? They knew there was a crack on the bridge. They knew there was a crack on the bridge 5 hours before it collapsed. They didn't have all the pieces in place for the bridge. And they didn't occur to them to maybe shut down the street and not let cars go by underneath. I mean, crazy, bro. Just crazy bullshit. trees actually do. Palm trees are incredible, dude. Palm trees will withstand the most insane hurricane on the planet. Maybe it should have been made out of palm trees. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. I decided that I had to see this for myself. You know, and here it is. It's pretty crazy. So, thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll talk to you guys later.